up, everyone? This is Family Jewels 7X. I'm here to teach you shit about recording and stuff. Last week we talked about arranging this fucker, and this week we're gonna talk about recording this fucker. Alright, to begin this video, I really want to apologize for, I've been having a lot of problems with, recording these, and I'm having a lot of issues with post-production stuff. Like, last video I had some really weird video problem, and I'm on a pretty strict time constraint as far as doing these goes, so I can't really go back and record it again. I mean, I could, but I mean, I'm also doing covers for you guys, so I mean, that's taking up the majority of my time. So I'm sorry that my things aren't perfect. I really wish they were, but so yeah, I'm sorry about that. All right, so this week we're going to talk about recording. Now, I mean, you know how to record. We already went over this. You press this button and you record the guitar. I'm going to just give you some tips, and these are some tips that have really made my stuff sound a lot more professional. Why am I sharing this with you? I don't know, because I love you guys, and you guys have given me a lot, so this is me returning the favor. I'm obviously not telling you all of my secrets, but I'm giving you enough so that you can come up with your own secrets. I don't know. Alright, so enough of me fucking rambling. Sorry there's no intro today. I'm kind of sick. A little sniffly. Yep. So what can I tell you about recording? So if you're working alongside me and you're maybe working on your own cover, what I had you do was I had you finish plotting your song. So this is pretty much the plot of the Tetris A theme that I have decided. And this is some really shitty recording. Like, half the shit is out of tune. This is all reference. None of this is going to be in the final mix. Absolutely none of it. And here, I'll give you a brief overview of what I'm doing. And, don't judge me. I mean, I'm really only showing you this because I want you guys to know that, like, this shit doesn't come out great on the first try in the least bit. So listen to this out-of-tune version of what later is hopefully going to sound good. Yeah, you get the idea. And then over here I have a solo section, so it'll break down and go. Yeah, I really apologize. It sounds like fucking shit. But, yeah, so later I'll record a solo. I haven't really decided how I want to go about doing that yet. Maybe I'll keep that as a surprise. I'm planning on, once this tutorial series is done, the Tuesday after the last video, I'm actually going to upload the Tetris A theme. This cover that I'm working on and showing you guys what I'm doing with it. So the first thing I want to talk about is a friend of mine named Recording Anxiety. So this is something that I still have not gotten over. It happens to everybody. Pretty much when you have the pressure of doing your final recording. You tend to second guess yourself. It's fine. I mean, it happens to everybody, unless, you're a stuck-up asshole, and fuck you. But pretty much this is something that, I mean, if you have a problem with it at first, it does get easier, but, I mean, as for me, I sometimes still feel like, oh shit, I'm recording this track, and, if I get this wrong, I have to do it over again. This is cement. This is gonna, this is set in stone. Fuck, I'm recording myself. I suck. You go through those thoughts, and, just those little things will cause you to, come in at a wrong time, like right there. See, I started the riff, like, a millisecond off. And, that's fine. You usually, you won't even hear it. It sounds more natural. But, I mean, don't worry about it. I mean, everyone I know who's recorded, at least at first, had recording anxiety. And, they had a hard time. It took them a lot of tracks just to get over that. And, I mean, the only thing that I can tell you to do that'll help you is play this riff to a metronome. Play it faster than you have to. Make sure every note is so clean, and play it until you can't make a mistake. And I mean, if you've ever done a performance and you've done a lot of performances, you know that feeling of you've done this act so many times that you go on stage and you don't even think. You just, you already know it so well that you just go out and you do it. And that's the best advice I can give you at this point. I mean, if you're having a really hard time with this, I mean, you got to go the extra mile if, it's getting to the point where you just absolutely can't record it. And don't think just because you're not a one-take fucking Willy and, you can just do all these one-take that you're shit at guitar. I should tell you that even these fucking reference tracks takes me a few fucking tries to get right because I want it to be right so when I'm listening to it later I actually know the notes I'm playing and, I don't play something different. I've done that before. Scott Pilgrim. Oh, sorry, see, I'm sick. So, I mean, if you've never recorded before, you might, get some recording anxiety, and that's fine. So now now everything that we do from now on, we're going to do in order. And what order are we going to do it in? We're going to do it in drums, bass, rhythm guitar, and then leads. Okay? So, let's mute everything other than the drum track. Now notice I used all these mutes. I mean, I could have just soloed it, but you'll find that, I'm going to be going back to these. Like, if you start soloing these all and you want to hear everything without all the solos on, you have to go back and you have to unclick all of the solos, and you fall into that trap a lot. So, try to use mutes more than use solo. Just professional advice, whatever. Professional. As if I'm professional. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your drums are good. Now, you see how I went a little crazy with dynamics here, but for the most part I kept them pretty heavy. That's because over here, like, this is just fucking brutal shit. Like, I'm okay with that there. The compressor is actually probably going to make that a little bit more dynamic-y. So I like it to be pretty full there, but over here when, the hi-hats come in, you see how those are kind of like lower? Yeah. So I did do some stuff with dynamics. I usually don't do a whole lot. I wish I had more time too. But that could be a huge difference between, an amateur recording and a professional recording. So pay attention to that. Make sure your drums are good. This is important. And if you have a song like, I have the luxury of starting the drums later, and I could just use a metronome. If your drums end up happening as the guitar happens, sometimes it's convenient to add a little bit more, or here, you can just add another instrument clip, just like four beats, and then add like, some hi-hats, like hold on, I'll show you. Where the fuck is this hi-hat? Yeah, so then you have like 4 hi-hats to count you in. I mean, it's kind of stupid right now, but whatever. You get the idea. Play around with stuff and make this job as easy as it can be for you, because this tends to get a little hectic. All right, so you'll notice I didn't actually record bass for this yet. I have it as a MIDI track. I played around with some of these notes so that it fits my arrangement. Obviously, our bass is sounding pretty good, except it's not real, so tisk tisk. But we'll deal with that this week. So, let's unmute the rhythm guitar track and make sure that sounds good. Besides being really out of tune, I think it sounds alright. I changed it a little bit from last week. I wanted some more palm mutes and stuff. Go through your rhythm track by itself and make sure there isn't anywhere that you'd be like, oh man, that would be really cool if I did like, just like over here, I had the rhythm guitar actually match the bass guitar right here. So you have... I mean, you know what I mean. It's really shitty recording. I'm sorry. But, you get the idea. Like, maybe you did this before, and if you listen to it again, you're like, hey, man, it would be really cool to do, like, do a match of the bass or something. That might be cool. I mean, I hope you see what I'm getting at. Like, it's good to go through these tracks once again. I do it for every cover I do. All right, so now let's take a look at the leads. really shitty. I actually recorded this part like a while before I recorded this part, so yeah. Also, what you might want to do is, you see how I have all these tracks strewn. This is the point where you want to organize. So let's move some of so this is the lead line right here. This is our without the flutter. I hate the flutter in the main part. Okay, so here it is. All right, I'm gonna move that up to the top so that I know that this is the lead without having to take the effort of actually writing lead here. All right, so then what I might end up doing is, this is a lead too right here. All right, so I'm actually gonna move this up there. I'll snap to measure. It's gonna sound really shitty now, but just so I know, I wanna do this all three of these tracks that I recorded all in one run. So this whole thing I want to record in one run without stopping. Same thing for this one. You know, these two are recorded at different times. I want to do this one all in one run as well. All right, so look, that looks organized already. Here is another lead. Let's say that, you know, I want to take a break here. This is a good, right here. That's a good point to take a break. So we'll use track 3 here. And then we'll use this track here again for the, you know, rhythm. Or you know what you can do also is, if you plan on doing a little bit of panning, maybe you want to switch it to add, you know, some diversity. So like, say you have the lead in your right ear and the harmony in your left ear. Later in the track, you might want to flip those to kind of give, you know, give the illusion that you're doing something different, even though you're really not. So, you know what, I'm going to do that. So here's the harmony line right here, and I'm probably going to set that, you know, wherever I want to pan that. And I'll do that in the next video. We're going to move this up. I'm going to put that right there. See, now it's flipped from exactly what's over here. Now we have 3 riffs here. These are all leads as well. We're just going to move that up. And then, yeah, we'll just keep that there. That's fine. Maybe we'll set this at a center pan. These are all things you should think about. Like, I mean, just think ahead now. I mean, you can change anything you're doing later. All right, so now that we have some organization, let's do the same thing over here. So, yeah, blah, 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 blah. This is kind of same riff. We'll put that here, back to where it was in the beginning, and put that there. Oh my god, it's so bad. God, I feel like I'm like Oni and G or something fucking doing these tutorials. Which, I mean, he makes some really fucking awesome tutorials. Alright, so now that we got that, now things are looking pretty organized. I mean, to my eyes, we pretty much emptied out 2 other tracks. Let's delete them. They're just gonna fuck with our eyes. They're gonna ruin the creative flow, man. Alright, so, you know, this looks a lot better than it did before. It's all organized now. Fuck yeah. So now, let's start with the rhythm guitars for the purposes of this tutorial. Now, this is a technique that I want to teach you, and pretty much everyone I know who records really good quality stuff does this. Now, we're going to solo this rhythm guitar. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something called multi-tracking rhythm guitars. What I mean by that is that we are actually going to record this rhythm guitar a number of times. And we're going to do this to add power to the track. This is what's known as wall of sound. You know, you have a lot of tracks doing the same thing, but panning them and, you know, or not even panning them to create the effect of like a fucking guitar symphony or something like that. It sounds big. Every one of my videos I've done multi-tracking. I've done usually triple tracking. So there's in modern rhythm guitars, there's 3 different ways to go about doing this. There's dual tracking, triple tracking, and quad tracking. And that is pretty much like if you, you know, double track, you have 2 rhythm guitars. If you triple track, you have 3. If you quad track, you have 4. I have to say, be careful with how many rhythm tracks you do. I mean, once you start learning how to use this technique, you're going to want to do as many as you fucking can. But the less clean your playing is, the more tracks you use is going to sound like shit. So start out with double tracking and, you know, get that down. Work on your rhythm playing so that it's nice and clean. You don't have to sound like a fucking robot, but just sound clean. Don't make too many, you know, rhythm mistakes. So I'll be right back with a dip to black feature. You're going to go forward in time while I sit around and record this 3 times. So, and then magically, these tracks appear. Because, you know, I'm from Massachusetts, so I'm a witch. I'm Harry Potter. Alright, so, let's hear this one. So, by itself, this rhythm guitar that I just recorded. Pretty good. I mean, I focused more on trying to get it clean as possible. I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but I've found, you know, if you don't kill yourself over getting these riffs fucking perfect, it actually sounds better, because if you have like very subtle mistakes in there, it makes this whole process sound a little bit bigger. So let's talk about why we just recorded 3 tracks. So let's just take this, I mean, solo this track. Sounds pretty big. Now let's listen to it with this track. It sounds a lot bigger. Now here's the trick. Here's the rabbit out of the hat here. You're gonna take this pan thingy, which is for some reason at 2. I don't know why, and we're gonna bring that all the way to 100 left. Right? All right. You following me? You following me? So what do you think we're gonna do this? What are we going to do with this? Come on, kids. Tell me what we're going to do with this. No, we're not going to put it in our ass. We're going to move it to the right 100%. Now let's listen to it. Whoa, it is so fucking big. Which is, what your mother said last night to somebody. Alright, so now we got a pretty legit sounding rhythm guitar. Now I record 3. Now this is soloed out my other rhythm tone, so listen to it. It doesn't sound good, but it's not supposed to. The reason why this track doesn't sound as crunchy as this one is because this, I use my center panning, which is what we're going to later call this track here. This is going to be our center panned rhythm, because it's in the center pan. I like to keep this nice and full as opposed to crunchy, because you're going to get all your crunchiness from these 2 tracks, and this one's just going to increase some fullness. Now, I've never seen anyone do this quite like I have. I could be doing this completely wrong. I could be doing all of this completely wrong, but, you know, just tell me I'm doing it completely wrong if you know so much. So we're going to turn this one down to about 25%, about as half as these ones. So let's listen to all these tracks together. Can just barely hear it, but you know, in the final mix, that's gonna be important. You'll see why. We're actually gonna do something similar with the bass when we get around to that too, but that's gonna be next video. So let's hear that with the drums. Sounding pretty alright to my ears, and you know, now I know you guys are excited to go try this if you've never done this before. I know I was when I heard about this. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, man, let's do this. I'm really tired if you can't tell. Alright, so now you're gonna do this for all of the rhythms in your song, and you know, it's not that bad. Usually the first rhythm guitar, you know, it takes a few takes, but after you got it down once, you know, you can do it, and you do it, you know, in less takes for the last 2 or 1. And if you haven't really, you know, gotten my drift, if I were to solo this out and never have recorded this, this is what's called double tracking rhythm guitar. You just use these 2, which sounds pretty legit. I like to add a middle, just because I do. Now quad tracking, I'll just give you an example. We're just going to duplicate this for the purpose of it. Now this sounds really huge. We're actually not going to keep these center. We're actually going to move these over to like 70, anywhere over here, but not fully. We're gonna keep this. I like 69. I love 69 so much. I mean, I love it so much that I give it to this one too. Both these girls, I give them 69s. God, these videos are not for children. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. All right, and so this is pretty much that sounds like. If you've also here's another trick. It doesn't work as well, but if you only have one rhythm guitar and maybe you want to like go back and do the similar thing, just go over to it, snap off, don't have it snap into things, and fucking just nudge it over, just a little bit. See that? See that? See a little bit? Oh wait, no, I didn't even go. All right, just nudge it over, nudge it right there. There we go. Okay, so now let's listen to how that sounds. Enough context that can sound pretty cool. Let's delete that because it tends to get messy. I like it nice and clean, nice and spot on heavy. So all right, we're gonna do the rhythm track for that for the rest of this, but not right now. Let's just wait until after to do that stuff. All right, so we got this going. Get the bass. We got to record the bass later, but I mean, you can probably understand how to play bass. I don't really have any tips on recording the bass, except know what sound you're making when you choose whether or not to do finger bass or pick bass. Finger bass is usually what you really want to do unless it's really too fast. I mean, I know a lot of people think picked bass sounds a lot cleaner in the mix and you can hear the notes a lot better. But you can get the same effect out of using finger bass, but it's harder but a much warmer tone. But then again, I mean, a warmer tone might not be what you're looking for. This is all stuff that, I mean, if this is your first time doing this, don't worry about this now. Just record it. Record what you can now, and, you'll figure out some of the stuff I'm talking about as you do this more often. Now, recording leads. Now, this shit gets really fucking frustrating. If you take the extra time to metronome the track, metronome that riff, get that riff to a really, really comfortable place. Now, for the sake of time, I'm actually going to record these later. I'm not going to record these in this video. I just really wanted to show you the recording of this as opposed to if you were just do one track. And plus I got to, tune my Damien, and that's a bitch because it's an FR. But I will give you some tips. All right, so let's say like this is my best take. This is what I did, and it was the best of my ability. See, now it sounds good without the beat, but let's put a metronome to it and hear it. Especially right there, that was completely off. I mean, I missed that beat like by that much. I mean, be really super critical about yourself. I mean, it sucks and, it kills your self-esteem, but it really pushes you to be as good as you can be. So, I mean, sit there and set it to a metronome, make sure that, you're hitting all the notes right. And, when you do a good track, you should feel like you did a good track. You shouldn't have any doubt that the track that you just recorded is the one. So, just keep that in mind. Like, as you record more, you'll find yourself checking to make sure the track is good less and less because you would know, you know that it's a good track. You didn't make any mistakes and you felt good about it. So that's how you do the leads. If you're having trouble with this, try soloing it out with the drums. So play it just with the drums without all this shit. Because you'll find that you have a lot less stuff that's crowding out. Because, I mean, if you're recording to this, it's going to be harder to catch your mistakes. So really try doing a lot of different things. Even try even like the bass. Solo out the bass with you so that you get the drums and the bass. So you still have the feeling of the song just without the rhythm guitars. Try a lot of different things out. It's different for everybody. Now, this is something that when I started doing, it really started cleaning up my playing. When you're recording harmonies, it might be really, really tempting to play it with the song so you can, feel like, you're on stage fucking dueling guitar with somebody like, and you're doing, you fucking, no. What you want to do is, because, like, if you're recording this, I'm sorry, this harmony track is bullshit. Don't judge me. No, what you want to do is you want to, when you're recording, if you're going to record to the rest of the song or even just a few tracks, don't record to the melody. Don't be listening to that while you record it. Because you'll find that the melody could be fucking with what you hear, right? So you should know the rhythm of the harmony without needing to rely on the melody. So try that if you've been recording like that. Try just recording to the drums or something. And you'll find that everything falls into place so much better because you have less things that are, fucking with what you're hearing. And I'm not saying it's fucking like bad, like it's a good fucking, like it's a good, if you're playing good, then it's a good fucking. But, that's a distracting fucking. I am the worst at making these fucking tutorials, but just bear with me. Another thing that's really important that I want you guys to be aware of is levels. Like, notice how, some of these are pretty loud over here. I need to lower the volume of my lead guitars because they're topping out right here. You see that? It's actually getting to the point where there's no more room for sound. And what that's going to do is that's going to clip. So if I solo that and put that at 100, actually I need to put this at 100 too. I think that's right? 100? Yep. See, it's going red right there. It sounds like shit. All that fuzzy sound, that's what's called clipping or topping out. You don't want any of this. I don't care who the fuck you are. Clipping sounds like shit. No, I don't care if you're making dubstep and you want really cool sounding, fucking clipping. No, you can oscillate that shit right. Alright, so make sure that your levels aren't doing this right here. You want your levels to look at this rhythm track. It never hits the top. It's always good. Even like these little parts right here. Like that little guy, he's not hitting the top. He's fine. He's good. He's chill. Move on. But the reason for this is think about recording kind of like what did someone compared it to grilling. So like say you're making a burger, right? It's kind of like, you cook it until the levels are, at a sufficient level. Now, a lot of people say, it's better to, undercook it or play it softer than you normally would and then turn it up later. I mean, people don't understand that when they say that, people are going to go and they're going to record these tracks at you're going to see little itty bitty things of that track, and then when they turn it up, it's not going to sound good. I've heard a lot of places that, in any case, less is more, less is more, less is more. But, that's true. There is a too less. There is not enough. So see how I've got a good level here. It never tops out, but there's very, very loud audible sound. Aim for this kind of thing. And be conscious that no matter what, if you're recording live instrument, you're probably going to have dynamics. You're going to have some louder and softer parts. So give yourself enough room for that. All right, so we talked about that. Same goes for reverb, actually. Be sure that your tracks aren't too heavily reverbed because you can add reverb later. And I know reverb sounds cool to you and it sounds like you're in a big stadium and you're Kirk Hammett and you're, in your stadium, you're playing your Master of Puppets in your stadium and it sounds reverby. No, you know what? You can add reverb later if you want to be like that. I mean, you can make it sound big later. Just make sure right now you got the notes down. You got the notes so that you can hear the notes and they're not covered up by the reverb of the last note, because that sounds really amateur. A lot of people do that to hide their mistakes. And if there's one thing I want to assert in these tutorials, it's that, the song is going to sound better the truer you are to the song. If you sit here and, you could be Mystery Guitar Man and you could, play every note and then set it to just tick, 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 tick. If you've ever seen one of his videos, they look cool, they're very innovative, but, I mean, you wouldn't, normally, typically, you wouldn't listen to that as opposed to the real track. That's why I want to record this whole thing as one. Never stop. I just want to make it good. Because when you clip these and you if you were to do this, this would crossfade it. That would make things really easy. But with the reverb and delay that we already have set on the track, the delay is going to stop. People are going to notice that. So never do that. You'll notice that I never, ever, ever, ever clip a track like this. Alright, I feel like I went over everything. I really need to start writing stuff down because I know I'm probably forgetting something. But, I mean, this is all you really need, right? So you got your leads, you got your harmonies, you got your rhythm guitar, and you got your bass. And these are all ready to go. So this week, if you're working on a cover or a song with me and you're trying to learn as you go, This week, I want you to record all of your rhythm like this. Or actually, you know what, forget this. Do it just like this for now. Start practicing with 2, and once you get that down, you want a bigger sound, move on to 3, then move on to 4. Even I'm not quite at 4 yet. I don't think I'm a clean enough player to make 4 sound very clean. So I stick to 3 and play it safe. And you should play it safe too. Don't jump into 3 yet, just make sure you have 2 down. And then for leads, we're going to make sure that, we've played to a metronome, and we have it down before we start recording to lessen recording anxiety. And we're going to never record harmonies with the lead going. I mean, I hope I'm making sense. I mean, this is all stuff that, I've learned in my, 1 year of doing this. Not too much experience, but everything I've learned has been completely self-taught, learning from mistakes. And I'm hoping that these videos are going to, make you have less mistakes, so you have it better off, and you can really share some of the crazy stuff I know you got in your head on YouTube, on the internet, wherever, so I can hear, and your crazy guitar skills can make me want to throw all my guitars out in the trash or sell them on eBay. So next week, let's have this all done. I'm going to let you see what I got, some little clips of what I got. The bass will be done. There will be no more MIDI. The drums will be a little bit more complete, and this whole thing will be full of music. And next week, we're going to talk about mixing this bad boy. Now, what I'm going to leave out of next week's video is EQ and compression. Those are both going to be separate videos in themselves, and trust me, anyone that's done those things, and done them a lot, could tell you, I could make a 10-video series on compressing and or EQing. So those get their own separate videos for now. Take everything I said today in consideration, and try to get as solid of a recording as you can. Now, if you're going to be doing video for this, that's not going to be your final recording either, but it is very important that it is close to perfect so that when you're mixing, you don't miss anything. Later, what I do, and this is crazy, I know, I re-record this when I do the video. So that I have it all mastered, and it's already ready to go. I don't have to master it, I could just go and edit the video and it's done. But if you're not doing a video, this is going to be your final recording after this point. So if you're going to just do an image or something, maybe, that's a good place to start if you just want to practice this stuff and you want to put it on YouTube. Just make an image, just record it all. And I've seen a lot of stuff that I've really enjoyed, even without, having the pleasure of seeing the person actually play the music. I don't know, maybe you're camera shy. If you guys have anything that I've left out that you guys think I should mention, maybe I'll put an annotation somewhere. And thank you guys so much.